This is a very video response to WatcherAzazel, Azazel. Kind of a feminine name, if you ask me. Uh, it's not much of a video. I don't have a webcam, and I'm really sorry you can't see my beautiful face. First, I want to start by saying that the universe wasn't predestined to have WatcherAzazel here eat the cheese. This is just a result of a million, billion, trillion dice rolls. I don't know how many. Watch the clip.
Newtonian determinism says that the universe is a clock, a gigantic clock that's wound up at the beginning of time, and it's been ticking ever since according to Newton's laws of motion. So, what you're going to eat 10 years from now, on January 1st, has already been fixed. It's already known using Newton's laws of motion. Einstein believed in that. Einstein was a determinist. Well, does that mean that a murderer, a horrible mass murderer, isn't really guilty of his works because it was already preordained billions of years ago? And Einstein said, well, yeah, in some sense that's true. Even mass murderers were predetermined. But he said they should still be placed in jail. Heisenberg then comes along and proposes the Heisenberg uncertainty principle and says, nonsense. There's uncertainty. You don't know where the electron is. It could be here, here, or many places simultaneously. This, of course, Einstein hated because he said God doesn't play dice with the universe. Well, hey, get used to it. Einstein was wrong. God does play dice. Every time we look at an electron, it moves. There's uncertainty with regards to the position of the electron.
And as for the society going to hell thing, I can't speak for everyone, but I guess I derive all my empathy towards human beings through free will. If we're all fate or chances ragdolls, then then I don't care what happens, as we're all ragdolls, or puppets, or robots. Whatever you prefer, which you don't, because you're a puppet. And when's the last time you cared about a puppet? When's the last time a puppet cared about you? And if society isn't depending on us to exist, why should you care? Titanic's back in theaters. Why do Jack and Rose care that the Titanic's sinking? You can look for answers in the movie, or you can give the correct answer, which is the story was written that way. James Cameron decided not to give them gills. If there's no free will, I don't want society to go to hell, but not caring is a lot easier than caring. And if what I want, I come to learn is beyond my control, then fuck what I want. Sorry, little boy starving in a slum. You should have rolled the dice better. If I had the tools and ability to go into your brain and tweak what you want, would that be okay with you? If you said no, why not? After all, you'd be okay with it afterwards. And if this debate is ever definitively settled and it turns out there's no free will, the first thing I'm going to do is make sure Watcher never eats cheese again. I'll be there to snatch every slice away so that he can feel what it's like not to be in control, instead of merely being fine with feeling that he's in control. And this is addressing a little tiff I had in Watcher's comment section. With I forgot the name. Not everyone that believes in free will is egotistical, and not everyone who doesn't compassionate saint. We sort of got into an argument about whether Sam Harris is compassionate, and I don't know if there's a correlation either way, but what I do know is that everyone that doesn't believe in free will still acts and treats others as if they did. So, is that hypocrisy? I'll leave you guys with a clip of Sam Harris openly and admittedly deceiving himself.
Comes up in this context is, well, then wouldn't it be important to pretend that we have free will? Is there something conserved there that we would lose if we were rigorously honest about how our mental lives are being manufactured? Perhaps we actually need a way of talking about ourselves which doesn't at every moment remind us that we are mere witnesses of our inner lives. To talk about effort and choice and voluntary behavior as though volition really were the primal cause of every moment's let me stop that. So one question that comes up that is related here is a worry that if we were rigorously honest about free will being an illusion, maybe we would lose something in terms of being motivated to change ourselves, to improve ourselves. We wouldn't value effort in quite the way we need to in order to live the best lives possible. This might be true. It might be that there's a way to talk about effort and pulling yourself up by your bootstraps and commitment to a goal, etc., which more or less ignores the unconscious underpinnings of our inner lives and gives people the illusion that they really are the authors, the real authors of their thoughts and actions. That's fine. That is a pedagogical question, a pragmatic question, and in any given instance, it is true that it has an effect to think about yourself in terms of being capable of great effort and being the real author of your actions. So you get up in the morning and rather than think, well, I just have the genes I have the environment I had the parents I have, I'm a mere recipient of all these causes, I really can't be any different or better than I am, so I'm just going to see what happens. That isn't necessarily the message you need to take from this no free will argument. You can also acknowledge that giving yourself a pep talk or being given a pep talk by others, thinking in terms of effort and striving and bettering yourself, all of that has an effect. Now it has an effect which again is part of this mirror stream of neurophysiological influences about which in every instant we are not consciously aware. But it doesn't negate the fact that it does have an effect. And talking in terms of choices and efforts and commitment to goals has a great utility and is not merely illusory. It's, to be given a pep talk that works is to be moved in a way that then has consequences in your life. But again, to pay close attention in any given moment, you are not in a position to know why it works in one moment as opposed to another, or the genetic and environmental influences that explain why you are precisely you as you are in that moment.